Did you know that every year 10 to 15 million people visit Disney World for the first time? Even if you visited other theme parks, Disney World can be overwhelming. Well, I've got things you should know before you visit for the first time. I wish I had known. And while I prepare to tell you all about it, you should hit that like button. Maybe even subscribe. First up, there is too much to do at Disney World for one vacation. There are 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, a huge mall with tons of restaurants and entertainment, hotels with unique experiences, and bonus experiences within the park like building a lightsaber or doing the Wild Africa Trek in Animal Kingdom. So you get it, there's too much to do in one trip. So here's my suggestion. Make your first trip just about experiencing the magic of the Disney World parks. Don't get caught up in trying to fit all the extra activities into your day. If this is going to be your one and only trip to Disney World, then I recommend extending it to at least a week long. When my kids were little, we did this. We took our first family vacation to Disney World, and we spent 7 days there. The first thing this did is it takes all the pressure off trying to see everything in one day in a park. The other benefit of this is since my kids were little, we'd spend the mornings in the park, afternoons were spent napping or in the pool, and then in the evenings when the temperature was cooler, we'd go back to the parks. And even with taking those long breaks in the middle of the day every day, we didn't miss out on anything. In fact, my kids weren't tired and we were able to stay at the parks later at night. So Disney's transportation system is good, but there are some drawbacks depending on where you're staying. If you're staying in one of the deluxe resorts around Bay Lake, you're in luck, you can ride the monorail to 2 of the parks. If you stay at one of the moderate resorts, you have the Skyliner to take you to 2 of the parks. For all other transportation, you have the bus system. And for the most part, it's great. But let's say your budget isn't in the $500 to $800 a night range, and you decide to stay at one of the value resorts. Well, the same bus services all 3 of those resorts. So that means if you're staying at either the All-Star Music or the All-Star Movie Resort, the bus will already have stopped at the All-Star Sports Resort and may not have room for everybody in the line. This isn't a huge problem as there's many buses, but it is a little heartbreaking, especially for the kids, to see the bus for the park you want to go to pull up and only the 10 people in front of you get to get on it. Are you one of those people who like to get to the parks early to beat the crowds and get in line for your favorite ride? So here's the thing about that. When the rope drops and you and 1,000 of your closest friends begin rushing towards the most popular rides, if you're not paying attention to the calendar, it's possible that the people staying in deluxe resorts have already been there for an hour. There is a very easy fix for this. When you are in the planning phase and deciding which parks you want to go to on which days, check the hours calendar in the app. It will tell you which parks have early entry on which days. Then just don't go to that park. So are you excited to ride that brand new ride at Disney World? Here's something you probably want to know. Lately, when Disney opens a new ride, they put it in a virtual queue system. The virtual queues open at 7 a.m. every morning. That means you need to be up by 6:45, logged into the Disney World app, select virtual queue, add all the members of your party, then at 7 a.m. on the dot, start tapping on your phone like a maniac, join virtual queue. I highly recommend everyone in your party following these steps together. Yes, even the little ones. You gotta get them signed in and tapping away. If you did miss out on getting into the virtual queue, you still have one other opportunity at 1 o'clock p.m. So make sure you set an alarm at 12:50 and be prepared. So the parks at Disney are really big. On an average day in the parks, I walk between 19,000 and 23,000 steps. So with an average of 2,000 steps per mile, that means I'm walking over 10 miles per day every day at the parks. And that doesn't even include the standing in line. Pretty much by the end of day 2, my feet are killing me. So I highly recommend some comfortable shoes with some extra padding inside. For me, the Skechers walking shoes with the memory foam in the soles have saved my feet. It's important to think about this for your kids as well, because they will start whining when their feet are sore. Something else they're going to whine about is the heat. You're probably saying, didn't you say you wish you knew this before your trip? Yeah, I knew it was hot in Florida, but it's seriously hot in Florida. I was there 3 weeks ago, and it was only 85 degrees, which anywhere else is a great temperature, and in the shade it was lovely. Then I stepped into the sun and burst into flames. It's seriously hot in Florida, especially in the sun, and you're going to be in the sun a lot. Oh yeah, pack some sunscreen. Yeah, I live in Tennessee. It gets hot and humid here as well, but the sun hits different in Florida. I don't really have a lot of tips for the heat. There are things like battery-powered fans that hang around your neck, or the spray bottles with a built-in fan, but honestly, you're just gonna have to deal with the heat and treasure the times that you're either in a store, a restaurant, or on a ride in air conditioning. Oh, how I love the air conditioning at Disney. Oh, this is another reason to take a break each day and spend some time at the pool. Swim in the heat of the day, and then once the thunderstorm blows in and cools it down for the evening, go back to the parks. Man, I'm good at this. You really should be subscribed to this channel. When my family goes to Disney, we always like to have that one special meal where we spend a little extra money, sit down, and just have a nice dinner together. If you also like to do this, you should know that the reservations for the most popular restaurants fill up quickly. You can make the reservation for any given date 60 days in advance. That means you need to decide which restaurants or character meals you want to have before that. Don't wait till the last minute and think you're going to get these reservations. If you did miss out on the opportunity to make a reservation, you should know about two apps, Magic Table and Stakeout. In these apps, you will choose a restaurant and a time you'd like to visit that restaurant. Then it monitors your choice, and if a table becomes available for your party, it will send you an alert. Usually about 2 weeks before a date, you'll start to see some cancellations. This is because if you forget to cancel, they still charge you for the food. So the final thought I want to leave you with is that Disney World is expensive. Yeah, duh. But the thing is, when you spend that much money on a vacation, you expect it to be a good time. And I'm here to tell you, that's completely on you. Disney's gonna do Disney. They do it very, very well. Of course things will happen, and Disney does try their best to make it up to you when they do. But the opportunities for magical experiences are everywhere in the parks. My favorites are at Galaxy's Edge, whether it's meeting Chewbacca or getting interrogated by stormtroopers, which I manage for me or one of my family members to get interrogated every time I'm there. And you want to know how I do that? I've got a big old dumb smile on my face and I'm having a good time. The cast members love their jobs and they love making special memories for people. And it's not just the characters. One of my favorite memories with a cast member was when I was chaperoning my daughter's 7th grade school trip. There was a dance party going on in Frontierland. Me being a dad and a general goofball, I started doing what I lovingly call the I Gots the Gold dance. It's breathtaking. A cast member working one of the food stands right near me saw me having a great time and offered me a free frozen lemonade. It doesn't end there. The girls started doing silly dances with me and they got free cookies, free Mickey straws. It was amazing. This little moment because I was having a good time is something I talk about all the time. What I'm trying to say is don't put too much pressure on the trip. Relax and have fun. When you're not stressed out, you will find the magic moments. This is just the start of the year of Disney. By the end of this year, I will have you being a Disney World veteran without even having to step foot in the parks. So subscribe, click the notifications, you won't regret it.